Hey everyone, it's John from Jesus Flicks, and today I am going to be talking about the Wingfeather Saga Season 1. I had been intending to watch this as the episodes came out, but the more I got behind, I thought, you know what, let me wait for all the episodes to come out, and then I'll review the season as a whole. So if you're not familiar with the Wingfeather Saga, it is based on Andrew Peterson's series of books, and Angel Studios took it on and animated it, and it's been, I think, quite a big success for them. Season 2 is going to be coming out soon. There's going to be a sneak peek, I think tonight actually, so maybe I'll have a reaction to that as well. So let's go with a quick synopsis here. As I already mentioned, it's based on Andrew Peterson's fantasy novels detailing the adventures of the Igiby family and their pursuit by the venomous Fangs of Dang and their evil overlord Gnag the Nameless. Now, I have never read these books, and so this was a totally green coming into this. I don't have any preconceptions or anything like that when it comes to this series. It stars Kevin McNally as Poto Helmer, Jodie Benson as Nia, Kellen Goff as Slarb, Romy Faye as Lily, Alkaio Teely as Janner. Sorry, I may have mispronounced that name. Griffin Robert Faulkner as Tink, and Andrew Peterson as Oscar. Henry Ian Cusick as Pete, and N. Rytel as Zuzab. There's a number of others in there as well, but we don't want to get too deep into the cast. So I'll go ahead and put my matrix up here for you so you can take a look at it. I'll be looking over here to remind myself of it. Let's start with the story. While I do find the story quite compelling, I was very impressed with how the story moved along in each, from episode to episode. There's only 6 episodes in this first season, and it's really nice that they didn't drag things out and drag this out into like 20 or 24 episodes. So I'm really happy with the pacing of the story, the elements of the story. One thing about this is that there is not any kind of overt reference to Christianity, but I think the concepts and the ideas of the Christian faith are weaved into the story quite well. You see a number of characters who are praying to the Maker, and I think that's a good entry point for anyone who may not be interested in, Christianity in general and Jesus and who he is. And this is a good way to provide some introduction to that. All right, so the characters. Well, we really only have a limited amount of time with some of the characters like Zuzab and Oscar, but this mainly revolves around the 3 Igiby children. And I have found that at times, some of them are, they're children, and so as an adult, I'm not always interested in children as characters. But I think given the target audience for this, which is young kids, I think these are great characters. They are very well written. They are fleshed out. They get even fleshed out more as things go on. And I think as the series goes on from season to season, we'll learn more and more about each of these and get the opportunity to really see these characters fleshed out even more. Probably just heard my son making an extreme amount of noise in the house. This is what I have to deal with, folks. So let's talk about the execution or the quality of this. Now, this is animated, and so it's natural to want to compare this to Pixar or Disney or even some other high-end animation studios. And I did find myself at times looking at it and noticing that textures were changing on the characters, and some of the animation wasn't as smooth as I expected. Some of the layers were off every once in a while. But I think overall, the execution was done very well. The sound design seems pretty good. There were a couple times where one character sounded like she was in a completely different room from everyone else, which is highly possible given when it was recorded. So, but other than that, I don't really have too much to complain about. I thought the voice acting was good, the directing was good, and overall the animation is good as well. Okay, so the themes in this. Themes of putting your family first, of caring for others, themes of dealing with adversity and dealing with loss are in these first 6 episodes. There's even a theme of forgiveness starting to be weaved in here that is really important to Christians and to believers. And so I'll be looking to see how that develops as well. Overall, standing up for what's right and standing up for justice is in here as well. So what's the overall spiritual takeaway for this series? Well, I think justice really is what it is, that and divine intervention, that God is in our lives even during difficult times. And so seeing justice in the world and the fact that God is in our lives when things are even so difficult are overarching spiritual concepts that you can take away from the series. All right, so those are my thoughts on the Wingfeather Saga Series 1. Again, I didn't want to get into too many details because it's really easy to spoil a story. If you've read the books, I'm sure you have comments on how the books are different from the animated series. That usually has to happen. And there may be other folks out there who have kind of like analyzed episode by episode. I'm just not that guy. I'll wait to watch the whole series and talk about it later on. So that all being said, 4 out of 5 stars for Wingfeather Saga. I think there could be some improvement definitely on the animation side, and I think there could also be some improvement in the sound design, but those are very minor flaws compared to the rest of the series. So if you haven't already, I hope you'll check out the Wingfeather Saga, and until next time, I'm John from Jesus Flicks. Bye.